All right, hey, are y'all new to gardening, or maybe this is your first time wanting to plant garlic? Well, if so, in this quick, less than 5-minute video, I'm gonna go over everything you need to know for the basics of planting your garlic. So grab your coffee, sit back, relax, grab something to write with. Let's plant some garlic. Okay, so before we get into planting the garlic, let's go over the two types of garlic that there are. First are the hardneck garlics. Those are the garlics that you're going to plant in the north. Hardneck garlics do best in the super cold climates. That's why you grow them up north. Now, softneck garlics are the ones that you grow in the south. They do really good in the heat of the southern states. Now, if you are growing your garlic, or you're thinking about growing garlic, you need to make sure, one, you know what zone you're in, so that way you buy the proper garlic bulbs for your region, especially your zone. As you can see behind me, I've got garlic planted. They're slowly starting to come up, and these are all soft neck garlics because I am down in zone 9A, just north of Houston. So I get really brutal summers down here, and my winters are really mild. Soft neck garlic is perfect for these types of areas, these zones. Now, when it comes to planting your garlic, if you're up in the northern zones where you're planting your hardneck garlic, you want to plant your bulbs about 3 to 4 inches deep. The reason for that is the cold weather. You want that soil to insulate those garlic cloves. That way when spring hits, they start growing and they're off to the races. Now, if you're down here in the south, which I'm going to show here in a second, you want to plant your garlic anywhere between a 1/2 inch to 1 inch. You can go even deeper if you want, maybe up to 2 inches. I always go right at that inch mark. That's just what I've always done. It's always worked perfect for me, and I always have pretty doggone good garlic harvests. Okay, another thing to keep in mind is when you are going to plant your garlic, garlic takes about 9 months to mature. So wherever you're going to plant your garlic, you want to ensure that you do not need that area in your garden for at least 9 months. So for garlic, there is definitely a commitment and a time requirement for growing this crop. Once you get your bulbs, you want to break them apart into your cloves. Now you want to leave this outer skin on the bulb. You do not want to peel that all the way down like you would if you're chopping it up to put it in something in the kitchen. You want to leave that skin on, it protects it. Planting garlic is really simple. Pointy side to the sky. This flat side right here at the bottom where the roots are going to grow out of, flat side down to the ground. Really easy. Pointy side to the sky, flat side down to the ground. You do not want to grow it upside down. So make sure that when you're planting the correct way. Okay, so we're going to plant this bulb right here. It's about an inch. It's about an inch deep right there. I like to always put blood meal and bone meal down to ensure that as the clove starts to grow, as the garlic starts to grow, there's all that nutrients. So flat side down. We're about an inch in there, and then just cover it up. And that's all there is to growing garlic. Super simple. Put your spacings. I like to do about 3 inches between bulbs. Now you don't have to, but that's what I do. About 3 inches. That just gives the bulbs plenty of room to grow and spread out inside the soil. Make sure you water them in really good once you get them planted for that very first watering. And then y'all, if you're in the north, I would highly suggest mulching the area where you planted your bulbs, especially when it starts to get cold. Down here in the south, once they start to pop up through the soil, then I'll come back through with a layer of compost, not a hot compost, definitely a cold compost so it doesn't burn the plants. And then I'll soak in the compost really good, pushing those nutrients further down into the soil. And then that compost will act like a mulch and help insulate the soil throughout our winters down here. That's all there is to it. And that is your Tuesday growing tip of the week. All right, everybody, if y'all enjoyed this video, if you got anything out of it, if you learned anything from it, do me the 3 favors: share, like, and subscribe to this channel if you've not done so already. I would love to have all of you who have not subscribed join this fast-growing community of like-minded gardeners here on YouTube. Everyone take care, God bless, continue to shine bright and harvest hard, get your garlic planted. You're gonna be waiting a little while, but it's totally worth it. And I'll talk to y'all again real soon.